Greetings, my name is Slight, and welcome to the final days of a Vanessa run. As worth pointing out before we move forward, I made a big post on Reddit about how I really appreciate the fact that the game has not gotten an update over the holidays because the meta has given a chance to evolve. In general, what I'm hearing from the community is that Vanessa's the worst hero and she has very little build diversity, and I'm just not seeing that. That is just not my experience. With that being said, if you're interested in that discussion, I'll link it. I think the discussion is mostly over at this point, but you can review my hot take on the particular state of the meta and why I particularly like that. Let's get into this build. So let's start off by saying the way I got here was playing just classic burn, nothing special. I was able to beat dualies by having a high level cannon with a decent crit chance, using stuff like Sextant for my hasting, and using Vanessa's Amulet. Now, Vanessa's Amulet is bugged right now. This run has given me the information to understand how it's bugged. It's working on anything that has a status effect, but it's not working on anything that's just damage. That's my understanding on how Vanessa's Amulet's currently bugged. And for a burn build, that's totally fine. So I've got Vanessa's Amulet, and I've got Silencer. It's not, remember, it doesn't have to be next to the weapon to give it the cooldown, which is quite nice. I like that ability. It doesn't really make much logical sense, but I don't mind. We've got this cannon doing 750. I was lucky enough to get a one-shot, one-kill, and that's when I transitioned away from, just good boy burn into this more like one cannon build where I'm basically trying to get like these huge hits off that apply a bunch of burn. As you can see, and if you've seen my other videos, you'll know that I really like Nesting Doll in the current meta for Vanessa. Due to the reduction in certain level up rewards, due to that reduction, you get a lot of scrap, and there's not a lot of great things to hit on Vanessa with scrap. Cove is one, but Nesting Doll's actually nuts with a lot of scrap upgrades and a couple shield upgrades, like this real shielding. I also, when I died, I got to use the enchantment I was given was shielding, and that doubles the shielding for Nesting Doll. We're also using a black pepper here, which basically, once it goes off, just gets 2 free triggers of Nesting Doll, and those have a high chance of critting, and that critting has a high chance of giving haste. Black pepper's nice because it can crit due to Vanessa's Amulet, and we've got thrusters. Now, I'd say black pepper's pretty good. I like what we're doing. Thrusters is one that I would be looking to change, and as always, I'd love to solve my ammo another way other than powder flask. We've also got Alacrity, which is really, really strong. I'm always specifically looking for this on Vanessa because it's a Vanessa skill. I also got Quick Freeze with the 6-second. I would love to see some more. The freeze on crit would be really good, and maybe the freeze on burn. Both of those would help us a lot in the early games. And then we also have Cosmic Wind here, which we were pretty lucky to get from the ROC monster fight. Other than that, we've also got these Diamond Fangs, which is why this black pepper has such a low cooldown. And anything else, especially this shielded Nesting Doll, if I can get that to diamond, it's going to be really, really important as far as how effective it is. All that being said, let's get into the rest of the fight. Now, I wonder if poison's a good choice. I'm doing okay on haste right now. There is Vanessa's Amulet. I think that haste on start. Let's check that out. Turbo haste 2 item for 4 seconds. I mean, that is pretty good. Silencer is going to be the thing that's next to it. What's Sextant? Turbo, double haste duration. Black peppers, probably haste 1 item for 1 second. It's really not worth it. Interesting. But poison on cannon, I wonder how high that is. Oh. Only 10, really. I'm surprised that it's so low. It's really not very much. And then, you know, I could give this lifesteal, which isn't bad at all. But is it going to make the difference? That's my real question, right? Because 10 poison, that's trash. Lifesteal's a maybe, but I think haste is probably the way to go. And I do like Vanessa's Amulet. Sextant. I'll look at Powder Flask. Turbo, haste an item for 1 second. Yeah, none of that's particularly good. I think we just haste on Vanessa's Amulet. Get that start of game freeze from quick freeze. And start off the fight in a really dominant position. I think that's going to be our best choice there. It's not my favorite, but I don't think it's bad. How much money am I sitting on? 4, 12, 13 plus 9.
I would never debase my
Could have gone sparring partner there, but my build's really not that good against it. No.
If you want something big and ugly, go see Pole.
I don't see any benefit to doing this instead of this, except that we trigger more often. But I really like the cooldown reduction on this because it's more nesting doll. So I really don't think I'm ever going to put those in. We'll look here.
Everyone here is huge. It's terrifying.
No, I don't think that this is better. Well, let's think here. My hastes are now from this. I get hastes every time I crit. And those are kind of the only hastes I'm getting. So if I take away the hastes I get anytime I crit, I will be taking away a significant amount of haste. I'll reduce the cooldown of these, which is good. But I'm pretty sure the haste is going to be better. If I had like another haste, I could sell and hold it. I think that's what I'll do.
Fine, here's some gold.
Yeah, I've got just enough to buy it. I'm not going to use it yet until I can solve haste problems. But I think if I have an abundance of haste, it's actually better. I think we just absolutely kill Volca's Reinforcer. And just watch Nesting Doll here. Oh gosh. Well, it did get hasted and frozen. Alright, ideally you beat this guy before Cryosphere goes off, because then things get real tricky. Alright. I think we got him still. We're okay. We're okay.
Waste of gunpowder.
Happy to get some money. Non-weapon items. We do have quite a bit of non-weapon items that would be benefited, but I think a skill is going to make us more powerful on average. Burn. I think 6% crit's actually totally fine with me. I think 400 health is totally fine with me. And here we get to use our scrap. So this is going to be 2448 shield, which is nuts. It's nuts. It's so good. Okay, so this guy's on his last win. We do get a freeze right at the start. Whatever we freeze is going to be a big deal. And we want to avoid freezes on Shielded Nesting Doll and probably Black Pepper here. So let's see how it goes. And obviously our cannon would be good not to get frozen.
Not to squabble with nobody.
Liquid. Cool. First time you freeze an item for 6 seconds. Oof. What are you freezing? Black Pepper's not too bad for me. I think we've got a good chance here. Oh no, I'm out of ammo. Oh no. The Powder Flask freeze. That's what happens when you're relying on Powder Flask in the late game. Good game. He had a good build. And it was good against us too. Anyway, 8 wins, not too bad, especially because we're not doing anything super special here. And we are able to go pretty late, and I think we were going pretty toe-to-toe with him. If we had been able to solve our ammo problem here, and maybe if we had had some better options than black pepper and thrusters, maybe sextant or a Vanessa upgrade, all those things would have really moved us into a better position. Also getting, any of these upgraded to diamond would have made a big difference in the effectiveness of them because if we had diamond fangs. So I feel pretty strong, or pretty good about the power level that we were at, especially because we had a lot of options. And that's one thing that's really important if you're going to be making powerful builds, is that at any point in the run, that there are many ways in which your build can get stronger. I know that we've all experienced runs where you get into the late game and there's only a couple things that can actually improve your build, and you can feel that you're falling off. It's really one of the things that I'm getting better at is building boards that have many ways that they can improve. Anyway, that's the game. I'll see you in the next one.